So friends, now let us understand the concept of automatic promotion in Java. So here you can see I have some glasses, and actually these glasses are for you only, and to understand better the automatic promotion. So actually these glasses have something in bottom, and these will interest you actually. So here you can see we have byte, that is size of 8 bits. After that we have short, then int with size of 32 bits, long, you can see the height also, float, and double. Okay, so the height is very important here. Actually this is based on the based on the capacity and height. A byte is having the smallest height, then short, then int, then long, then float, and then double. Now let us understand the concept of automatic promotion using this. So what happens when, in case of overloaded methods, when we have a method, suppose we have a method with int value, and we are passing character value. So here you can see we have our character also. This keyboard, every key is a character. So what happens in the case of character? Suppose we pass a as an argument, and we do not have any overloaded method with character as an argument.
Just like here you can see we have a class hello world, and we have a method p and passing the character value here, and we have method with char argument, int argument, float argument, and double argument. Okay, now these three methods are commented for now, that is they are not available. Only we are having double method which is available for now. Okay, so concentrate only on this example for now.
So what will happen in that case? Here suppose we press the key A, that is we pass the A character A value in the method. Then which method will be called? Since we are not having any overloaded method with character as an argument, so what happens? The sky value of this character, value of this character, that is 65, capital A is 65. So that sky value is passed to the method, that is sky character of this A is 65. So its equivalent value, that is int value 65, will be passed to the method. So what will happen? Now the compiler will look for the method, that is if it is going to have any method with integer as an argument. So what will happen? It will look for the method with integer as an argument. Okay, if it finds, then it will execute that method, and it will print the output inside the int method. So what happens? This character A is automatically promoted to integer if it does not contain any exact matching method in the overloaded methods. Okay, so this was the case of character. Now suppose what happens, we have a method with int argument, and there are overloaded methods, and we do not have any overloaded method with argument taking as integer, that is we do not have any exact matching overloaded method with integer value, that is integer argument. So what happens in that case? This integer is promoted, that is automatic promoted to the long value. What happens? The compiler will check for the method if there is a method present with taking argument as long or not. If there is long, then that method will be executed. Now suppose if there is no method, overloaded method taking long as an argument, then what will happen? Then further this long will be automatically promoted to the float value. So here you can see now this is automatically promoted to the float, and if there is any matching overloaded method with float as taking float as an argument, then that method will be executed. Now suppose if there is no any method that is having argument as float, then what will happen? This float will automatically promoted to this double. If that double, if there is any double method, then that method will be executed. So what happened, we are passing integer as an argument. Now it is promoted to long, float, and then finally double. If it is not having any long, or it is not having any overloaded method with long as an argument or float an argument, then that it promotes to the next level, and finally it reaches to the double. Okay, so double method will be executed. Now think of a scenario when there is not any overloaded method even with double, then what will happen in that case? In that case, when it reaches to the maximum level of promotion, that is from int, long, float to double, and even the overloaded method do not have double as an argument, then what will happen? In that case, compiler will give error. That is, we will see the compilation error, that is we are going to get compilation, okay, compilation error. So what happens, what comes to conclusion, that compiler does not immediately gives compilation error if it does not find exact matching int value and when we are passing integer value. What it does is first of all checks if there is any method with float, sorry, long, or if it does not have long, then it goes for the float, then it goes, if it does not have float, then it goes to double, and even if till double it does not have any overloaded method with double as an argument, then after that it is going to give us a compilation error. Okay, so I think you got the concept of this automatic promotion, that is byte is promoted to short, short is promoted to int, int is promoted to long, and long is promoted automatically to float, and float is automatically promoted to double. So this is automatic promotion. And in case of character, what happens? This, it's the equivalent, a sky character is passed to integer value.
So friends, now let's see the example of character. Here we have our character, and let's enable it with a method, overloaded method only as character. So let's see the output, what the output is. Since we are having a exact match, so it should say that we are having a character. Okay, so now let us comment this character and enable the int. Now let's see what happens when it does not find any exact match, that is for the character. So here, due to automatic promotion, it should say that it should execute the int. First of all, it will search for character, but it will not find, so it will be automatically promoted. So let's see what the output. Now you say, yes, surprise, our character A has become now an int, and you can see the sky value, that is 65. Now let's comment this also. So what will happen this time? It will search for float. First of all, it will search for char, then int, then finally float. So let's see the output also. It is automatically promoted to float. Now you can see the output 6.0. It is having 0.0 and the final value is float. Now let's see the last option, that is double. So the same condition will happen. First it will look for char, then int, then later float, but it will not find, then finally it will execute double because it will find it. Okay, so it should say now as double. So here you can see, surprise, our character A has become now a double. Now let's comment this, then what will it show? it should show us a compilation error. So here you can see we are having a compilation error. The method char is undefined, that is, it is not defined, so it should be defined. Okay, I think you got the concept of automatic promotion. Now let us consider for the condition of our integer value, that is 10, and enable the last method, that is double. So what will happen in this case? First of all, it will look for the exact match. Okay, this 10 is integer and it will look for the exact match. First of all, it will find for int, but it will not find it because it is commented. So it will be automatically promoted to float, but since float is also commented, then it will also not be executed. Then it will automatically promoted to double, and finally it will look for the double and executed. Okay, since we are not having long, so we are there is no method with the long is executed. Now here you can see the double method. Okay, so output is double, this 10 has become double. So I think you got the concept.
So friends, this was all about automatic promotion. I think you got the concept. Thank you.